Hey guys, it's Tom from Quirky. I'm back. We're gonna start a new project today, and I've got arguably the easiest thing you can do here in the store for fermentation, bar none. You thought mead was easy? Wait until you see this. So we're gonna do a wine kit. I'm gonna talk about wine kits real quick, explain what you get in here, we're gonna walk through the entire process. It's gonna take us all about 10-15 minutes altogether. So what's in here? So these wine kits, when we get them with a couple different companies, but RJS and Wine Expert are the main brands we carry. What you're getting in this box is literally that grape concentrated, pressed, all the juice extracted into a bag, along with yeast, bentonite, wood, nutrients, clarifying agents, a couple other stabilizers, everything you need except for the corks. Some of the kits, some of the really nice kits will actually come with labels, some of the higher end kits. And the difference in size, you've probably seen a lot of different sizes when you're looking through our wine kits, there's tons. So this is one of our 10-liter kits, equivalent of the new 8-liter kits from Wine Expert. These kits are entry level, a little bit less expensive, about $75 to $85, depending on origin, type of grapes, etc. But they still make 6 gallons of finished wine. So you're getting about 30 bottles. And with the bigger kits, you're still getting 30 bottles, it's just that those kits are less concentrated, they've been messed with less, they are more pure, and you're adding less water. So today, because we have a 10-liter kit, I'm going to be adding 13 extra liters to get up to 23 liters total. So that includes the 10 we've got here, that includes 12 that I've got in a bucket down there on the floor, and then 1 liter right here that we're going to add some bentonite right in the beginning. And so bentonite is a natural clay fighting agent. You add that first thing, helps your wine to clear up while it's fermenting over a couple of weeks. These wines are fantastic. You've never made one of these kits if you're a little nervous, like, what am I getting out of this? Even our entry-level kits, we're talking about a $10 to $15 bottle of wine, especially when you do a few minor tweaks that I'm going to talk about. And when you're finished, a lot of fun options here to bottle up yourselves, including these shrink sleeves that are super easy to put on, add a great finishing touch and presentation, makes your wine look super professional. Custom labels if you want to do that. Here is a frosted bottle that a personal friend of mine did for their wedding. Looks so nice, and they gave these away as party favors. So you can do a lot of really cool things. We have so many different kinds of bottles. So let's put these aside for the moment, and let's talk about this guy. And so when you open one of these up, this kit in particular came in a little damaged. So instead of just disposing of it, I thought, hey, let's make this into a kit and do a video about it. So first thing to do, when you open them up, there will be a pack sitting right here on top. And so this pack has our instructions. This big paper right here. It'll come with some oak. Generally, sometimes the kits don't come with oak. Most of them do. And then we've got a few more goodies in here. So it has the bentonite, it has the yeast, and it has some clarifying agents. So we'll talk about all those really quickly. Bentonite, this is the very first thing we're going to do. I mentioned that at the beginning. We're going to mix that with some hot water in a second. Now you've got 2 packets of clear liquid. What these are the clarifiers. Kiesel Sol, this little guy, and then Chitosan, this bigger one. These we're going to add a few weeks from now, and I'm going to do every part of this wine throughout the whole process. This will be video like 2 or 3. We'll talk about how to use these. And then we have some little pouches of potassium sorbate and metabisulfite. These also are going to get added later in the process. Put those aside for right now. And then you've got your packet of yeast. And so when I'm making these kits, I've done quite a few myself. They're really good. First thing I usually do when I look at my kit is I'm going to check out what kind of oak came with it and what kind of yeast came with it. And while these will make a really good wine on their own, there are some better options we can take if we want to. So instead of this EC1118, which is champagne-style yeast, works great, but maybe not the best choice for Cab Sauv. I'm going to use this R56 from Mangrove Jacks. Used to be Vintner's Harvest. These pouches are a little bit larger because they've got some extra nutrients in them, but this particular strain is a little bit better for big red wines like my Cab Sauv. So, you know, if you're buying a kit here in the store, totally fine if you want to take this out and swap it. We'll give you money back for it. Get something a little bit more interesting. Same thing with the oak. This is about, let's see, 33 grams. This is a little bit over an ounce. Looks like a medium toast, American toast. Yeah. So American oak, not my favorite for wine. Instead, I've got some Hungarian medium plus toast cubes. And so cubes are interesting because that holds up to the camera. You can even kind of see from here. you can see the different colors on there. So that color gradation tells you that you're gonna get some different flavors out of it too. And then me personally, I like somewhere between 3 and 4 ounces of oak, and some of my reds, especially if I want to age a little bit longer, that's just what I personally like. So that's not enough oak for me. I'm going with 4 ounces of my Hungarian toast cubes. Okay, so first thing, I'm gonna take this bentonite and let's get it dissolving in our 1 liter hot water. It's not gonna dissolve completely, but mix it up there and there pretty good to get sanitized. And then got my fermenter, got my Speedel 30 liter. That's what I use for beer too. Got one right there. And I really prefer these for wine, especially ones with grape skins or oak, because this big opening here is super easy to get in and remove it. So I've got some sanitizer here right now. Just kind of shaking it up. We're gonna drain some out of the spigot so that we know that the front of the spigot, all those pieces, that sanitizer contact. And then I'm gonna pour the rest of it out this way so that it forces the sanitizer to touch all parts. Cool. Let's just shake out the excess foam. There's a little bit of foam remaining. Don't worry about it. Never taste it. Won't affect the quality of your wine by any means. Star Sand is incredibly safe and forgiving chemical to use. Okay. Let's mix this up a little bit more. This back with my sanitizer down below. Bentonite goes in first. All right. So now, put this aside. We'll leave it more. I'm going to add the oak, just because. So I have a muslin steeping bag. This will not come with the kit, so you gotta add one if you're getting some more oak. Most of the kits don't have steeping bags for your wood, but to be honest, for an additional 75 cents, go grab one of these. It's going to make your life so much easier when you need to move the wine to the next stage of life. All right. Boom. Tie that guy off. And it goes. Okay. Now, the absolute hardest part of this entire process, we're going to do it right now, and I'm going to make a little bit of a mess. Like, I just know I'm going to make a mess. So I'm going to pull these aside over here. But inside here now, I have basically 2.5 gallons of grape juice in a plastic bag with one of these caps. This is my least favorite part of the wine kits. Even me, I'm a relatively strong guy. This is not the most fun part, but I'll show you an easier way to do it. So, holding this with your hand, pop off this yellow cap. All right, I didn't spill any there, that's good. And now, I found it a little bit easier to simply leave it in the box rather than trying to take the bag out of the box. This is where having a friend is super helpful. But we're gonna go right in. All right, not too bad. I've definitely done worse than this before. And then once I get closer, that. And just make sure to do this in a place, not in a carpeted area. You can see I got a little bit of grape juice in the back here. And this stuff can be nasty to clean out. Okay, but I'm not going to throw away this just yet. I'm going to rinse my hands real quick. I'm going to rinse out. This is technically liter number 13 that I'm pouring in here. I'm pouring about a liter of water in here. Get rid of this nasty box. And we're going to just kind of swirl it around, try to get any little bit of residual juice that's inside the bag. Still a little bit in there, but you can't get it all out. That's good enough. All right, put that aside. See, I did spill a little bit here. Let's get a rag and wipe everything up before we go on to the next step. Okay, now you can see we've got still a lot of water to go. And so, here's the rest of the cool filtered water that I measured out before we started the video. And a funnel would make this easy, but just be careful. Cool. And then at this point, this is one of my my favorite points in the winemaking process because I get to smell the pre-fermented must and it smells really nice. Okay, so let's grab our paddle and we're gonna stir this guy up a little bit. And we're almost done. The last thing we're gonna do today, we're gonna add our yeast. So I'm simply opening this up, pouring it in. There are ways of rehydrating yeast. I've mentioned that in the past. That's an advanced step that you don't really need to take every single time you ferment something. If you like to do that, it's arguably will make a better product, but you don't have to. So we've added our yeast. We've added the bentonite at the very beginning. I topped off with additional water. There's a little mark right here, but that's for beer brewing, so it's shorter volume. We've added our new oak. I'm mixing it up. Ooh, it's stuck. With that. And I'm done. So, let's put the lid on and an airlock. And now what next? So this is going to ferment about 2 to 3 weeks. It'll vary depending on the temperature you've got your wine sitting at. But generally, red wines prefer it mid to lower 70s. You can keep it around 75, good temperature. White wine's a little bit cooler than that. So red wines are a little easier for most people because most of us tend to live or keep our apartments at our homes, you know, the mid-70s. So it'll take about 2 to 3 weeks to ferment. At that point, we're going to transfer it into another container right off the bottom of the spigot there and let it bulk age a little bit longer, clarify for another couple of weeks. The transferring itself will help kick up any yeast, and if it hasn't fully fermented, the act of moving will help get it going, get it rocking, and finish out. So it's going to sit in the second container for a couple weeks. We're going to do a third transfer into another container, and then we'll add the clarifying agents I mentioned earlier, and along with the stabilizers. That's going to sit another week or so, very similar to the mead video I did earlier. The fourth video, or the fourth transfer, we'll move it into a container the final time, and then bottle from that container. And so with wine, you do a couple of transfers, because every single time we're doing that, we're leaving behind more of the gunk or the sediment, getting more clean liquid through. There's some people who use filters and pumps to do all that too, but you can do it the natural way using gravity and time just as easily and just as good results. So that's it. This guy's gonna ferment, and I'll see you guys all back in a couple of weeks, and we'll do the next part. And so if you're interested in learning and making your own wine kit, come check us out. Visit the store, see the huge selection of kits we have here. Whatever your favorite wine is, I bet you we have something like that here, and we can get you going on your own kit pretty soon. Well, thanks for watching, everybody. Have a great day.
Okay, so I lied. There was one more thing we had to do, and that was just take a hydrometer sample, so we know how much, and what kind of alcohol we've made when we're finished. So we're about a 1085 on my starting gravity, and what I did is after I mixed everything up real good, I took just a sample right off the spigot here, and I know this hydrometer is a little short, so 1.085 is going to be our starting gravity. And so we'll take that information, and once it's finished fermenting, we'll take that information and figure out the ABV we've made. All right.